I'm here to refresh you on how to perform a contamination survey using either a Geiger counter or a wipe test using a liquid scintillation counter. At Georgia Tech, you are required to perform a contamination survey whenever you're through using some radioactive material. You're also required to document your results of the survey using your ORS forms 160 and 137. You're going to use your Geiger counter for your survey if you're working with gamma rays or high energy beta emitters such as P32. Use a wipe test as your contamination survey if you're working with lower energy beta emitters such as tritium and carbon-14. We'll start by using the Geiger counter. Before we start using it, there are 3 things that we need to check. The first thing we're going to check is the overall condition. We can check to see if the wires and cables are frayed and if they're properly connected. We'll check the detector window to see if it's punctured or not. We can check the glass in the meter face itself. We can't have anything touching or obstructing the needle. Next, we can check the calibration date to ensure that it's been calibrated within the past year. Calibration date will always be on a label on the side of the meter. Finally, we're going to check the battery by turning the black knob to the BAT setting and ensuring that the needle deflects into the appropriate BAT test range. Once those check out okay, we're going to take a background by removing our probe, turning our knob to its most sensitive setting. This switch here ensures that the speaker and the audio is on, and we'll hold our probe away from our RAM use area and take a background count. I'm getting a background of about 50 counts per minute. Now I'm ready to begin my survey. First, I'm going to survey my RAM or radioactive material use area. So we're going to hold the probe about 1 inch above the surface that we're surveying. We want to be careful not to actually touch the probe because we don't want to contaminate it. We want to move in a steady, systematic fashion. We want to try and cover 100% of the surface area of the bench top and any items that we may be surveying. If you get to an area, like I am right now, and you hear an increase in your count rate, you need to immediately check your meter and record the count rate. Then you're going to have to determine whether or not that item or location is hot. To determine whether an item or location is hot, if you're in a room that is restricted to radiation workers, then you're looking for anything over 200 counts above your background measurement. If you're in an unrestricted area, such as a neighborhood lab, then you're looking for anything over 100 counts above your background measurement. If that item or location is determined to be hot, you're going to do one of 3 things. You can dispose of it, you can clean the item, or you can take the item and place it into a shielded and labeled container. Next, we're going to survey the adjacent areas of my RAM use location and any items they contain. Now I want to survey myself. I'm going to get my hands, my sleeves, my chest, and finally, I'm going to get the bottom of my shoes. Finally, I want to survey any area where there's waste stored or maybe where we're storing some sources. So I can go over here to my waste bucket and survey it. Now we're going to do a wipe test. We're going to perform a wipe test survey by choosing several locations in the areas we've already mentioned, and we're going to survey each one with a piece of filter paper. You want to cover about 100 square centimeters for each location, and you want to apply moderate pressure to each. With a 1-inch piece of filter paper, like I have here, 100 square centimeters is going to correspond to about an 8-inch swipe, which is what I'm doing right now. Once you've taken each individual wipe, you can place it into your LSC rack or your liquid scintillation counter rack as you go along, or you can go ahead and put all of the smears into an envelope if you're not near your liquid scintillation counter. Do not forget to document your survey using your ORS forms 160 and 137. And lastly, please do not hesitate to contact the Office of Radiological Safety if you have any concerns or questions.